morning, beautiful people. I'm Babz Rawls-Ivy. Welcome to the second hour of LoveBabz, LoveTalk. I'm talking to my favorite people, folks from the New Haven Symphony Orchestra, because they are playing outside these days, and I hear it is glorious. So Rebecca Patterson is one of the guests. I think Alistair's coming on next. But Rebecca Patterson is a principal cellist.
You got it.
Yes. And I had the opportunity to meet her a couple of years ago because they were, I love having the symphony on. So they've been on a few times over the course of these years that I've been doing this. And they're my favorite thing. And I love that you're all at the boathouse. But Rebecca, talk to me a little bit about, before everybody else shows up, how have you fared through this pandemic?
Oh, let me make sure I'm not muted. Yeah. Well, we got through it without, having all live performances canceled. It's been a challenge for sure. Somehow, people got creative. We tried to do online things. We tried to do as much outside as we could. Of course, we live in New England, so it gets snowy and cold, and we don't like that outside. Audience doesn't like that outside probably either. But mainly, yeah, so winter was a challenge. I have to give it to the New Haven Symphony. They've done some really great educational programs. Everybody had to kind of figure out, well, what can we do? Some of their education programs that we've done online, I think, have been great. Now it's going to be, as we come into the warmer weather and we're coming out of the pandemic, getting in, we're still limited to small groups, small venues. So we're not the full symphony yet. That won't happen, hopefully, until the fall. But right now we're starting out with the small groups, and it just feels, oh my gosh, it feels great to be in touch with live audience people. But
oh,
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And does it make a difference when you get to play with your fellow contemporaries? Like you get to play with them instead of like you at home and they're at home, and maybe we play together on Zoom or whatever, but this is different. We're back together.
So playing together online was, no pun intended, virtually impossible because because there's a time lag. And of course, music is all about timing, right? And it's like just enough that you can't, it's literally impossible. You can't line up. And so unless one person is muted and then maybe you can kind of play, no, forget it. And we forget a lot of our communication is subtle. We have to hear each other breathing, believe it or not. All these things that demand, being in person. I really like to see people in 3D as well. It really helps. Anyway.
Good morning, Alistair. You got to unmute yourself. I don't know if are you in New Haven, Alistair?
I just got in last night, yeah.
Because I don't see that beautiful artwork behind you. That's how I know you. How are you?
I'm very, very well. How are you?
I'm good. How are you making out post, well, not even, in pandemic times? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I cannot complain. I'm really happy that things are moving forward. I'm so happy that we're putting on live concerts again.
But that's what Rebecca said. She was so happy to see us, see y'all gathered and to play music for a live audience.
Absolutely. There's nothing like it. There really isn't.
Hey, John Moore. Nice to see you. I hear he's going to play some music for us. This is my favorite thing. I'm a huge New Haven Symphony fan. And so you all pivoted because you couldn't meet inside, right? You couldn't have people come to Woolsey, the beautiful Woolsey Hall. So y'all are like, you know what? What's the next best thing? The Canal Boathouse. How's that going?
It's going well. I just want to say hi to Jonathan here because we have not yet met. This is the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you wouldn't mind, I just need to do a little bit of the formal introductions. It's great to meet you, Jonathan. Thank you so much for being part of this.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then now, John, when do you play? When are you playing?
I play June 11th and June 13th.
Okay, I'm coming to that concert.
Okay.
June 11th and June when?
13th.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try to come to both those because I'd like to see you play. So Alistair, how's it been to like pull your orchestra together and perform? Because as Rebecca said, right, Rebecca, it's not the full orchestra.
It's not yet.
Okay.
So we're taking baby steps. You know, we're doing what we can, given the protocols in place around gathering and performing, which of course are changing all the time. But we had to design this series a while back, and so you know we were definitely working. We could not color outside the lines, so we had to be pretty cognizant of the restrictions in place. But that said, we managed to put together a series of 7 concerts that takes us really through a huge variety of styles and instrumental combinations, none of which I think exceeds 9 players. I think that's our maximum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not an orchestra, but it's it's instruments and voices and in various combinations and in lots of different styles. So I think overall there's something for everybody on this series.
And it's so I guess the first couple of performances, well, everything is about to sell out, but people were so desperate to go and to be out and to hear this music that within like y'all sold out like y'all are like Mariah Carey, like y'all just like. Like it just sold out. I was like, whoa. So people
that may be
really...
the one and only time I've ever been compared to Mariah Carey, but I take it as a big compliment.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's an indication that people are really hungry for live music and the act of coming together, which is what it's all about. You know, being around other people, sharing the experience together. It's an incredibly I actually find it I'm finding myself very optimistic for the future in the fall as well, because I think people really, really miss that and they don't realize it until it's not there.
Okay. So John, how have you been doing through the pandemic? Because Rebecca said, you know, it's a little hard trying to play music on Zoom and all these other places. What has your experience been?
It's been pretty tough, to be honest. I had to deal with schoolwork as well, you know, as well as music. Since I go to school, well, I just graduated from Southern with my music degree. Yes, finally. it was really a tough journey trying to balance out schoolwork with music. So Miss Patterson, she definitely understood, and it was pretty tough, but I got through it.
Mm-hmm. So Alistair, when you put together this program, like how do they practice it? Like do you send it, you like email them the music and the program's like, okay, listen, y'all play however way you play, we'll get together and it'll be what it'll be. How do you convene them to have a concise, beautifully listened to program?
Well, like any other concert, there's was that question for me, Babz, or,
yes.
or Becky? Okay, because Becky, chime in anytime you want as well, please.
Yes, jump in, Beck.
Yeah, I can certainly answer that if you want. But basically, yeah, as I was saying earlier before you guys popped in, it literally is impossible to rehearse online. And so following protocols and all that, we are able to rehearse in a very large space. So we do come together in person to rehearse. And we just have to follow all the guidelines. But no, yeah, you got, of course, we do always come prepared.
Okay.
That's rule number 1 anyway. so yeah, but it's really just, yeah, we have a large space, and so we're able to come together to rehearse.
Oh, that's good.
So that worked out well.
So when y'all were putting together this program, you put it together specifically with the intent on being outside and finding stuff that would work outside, and who could, like, you're not dragging a piano outside, are you? Like how do you decide what instruments need to be out there and what can't be out there? And
well, funny you should mention that, because the concerts this past weekend did feature the Schubert Trout Quintet, which you have a piano for. And I believe, I actually couldn't be there because I had to be in California. I've just come back from California, but they used an upright, I believe, which is transportable. It's much harder to transport a 9-foot concert grand. And as great as electronic keyboards are, sometimes to reproduce the real sound of a concert grand piano, it's not so easy. On the other hand, the previous week when we did the Four Seasons, where you need a harpsichord, an electronic keyboard works really well for that sound. So we're kind of, we're doing improvising in the way as best we can to meet our needs.
Mm-hmm. So when you're doing this and you actually are outside, do you have to make some changes? Like, ooh, this sounded good when we were planning this, but now we're outside. I think about this a little differently. It's like, was there any of that kind of changing going on?
We are amplified a little bit because of the acoustic. So they do have microphones. So we're just gently amplified. That definitely helps, I think, with hearing the sound. Because there is some outdoor environmental sounds going on. It's not a normal acoustic of a concert hall. So you've got a little bit of the ocean. You've got sometimes a motorcycle that might go by. Never know, seagull or something. And probably, well, this is a logistical thing that should not concern the audience at all, but they may notice that page turns are a little challenging. So we have to, because of the wind, we do have to clip everything. So sometimes the timing between movements may take a little longer. That's the only thing that I've noticed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So John, what do you do with this degree? Did they hire you for the symphony? Like, what do you do? Like, where do you go now after you got your degree and your parents are very, very proud?
Well, I'm still in the process of, what do I want to do? So I'm just thinking right now, I really want to travel. I really want to just travel out the world, do gigs, just explore more. What can I do with my music? So I think I should just take it all over the world. I just want to travel. I don't want to stay in one place, especially not the United States. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to China, Japan. I want to go all over the world. It all takes time. So I'm still in the process of brainstorming what exactly I want to do. Like, what are my goals?
But in the meantime, you're playing with the New Haven Symphony Orchestra. Is this your first rodeo with them, or have you played with them before?
Yeah, this is my first rodeo.
All right. Okay. So I'm not going to ask you to play what you're going to play for the concert, but I understand you might play something for us this morning.
Yeah, I'll play a little something. Want me to go now?
Yes, go now. I can't wait.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can
That's great. Go ahead, Rebecca.
I got to say something, because unless you play cello, you may not know this. And Jonathan's not going to tell you because he's too modest. Which is that what Jonathan does on the cello as technique, nobody else does that. Jonathan came up with, like, it's your voice, you know, it's Jonathan's voice, it's unique. And he's come up with techniques to express his voice that are unique to him. And it's just incredible. Like the sounds and the energy that Jonathan's able to create through this instrument is really extraordinary, and it's very unique, and it's just so exciting. I'm so excited to see how you're going to develop over time, because it's only, you know, it's just like the beginning right now, you know, and so it's really cool. Yeah.
I like it. So I said, what is it like to have this kind of talent as a part of a program that people get to hear under the New Haven, under the symphony?
Under the auspices of the symphony. Well, you just heard it. I mean, you know, and talent is talent, and it's just fantastic. And what Becky said, Jonathan, about your technique is absolutely true. I mean, I'm also a lapsed cellist when I was way younger. And I was thinking, I don't know how you're doing what you're doing, but the sounds are really fabulous and original, and your own voice. And I just want to say that I was so struck and in admiration of your words about what you're doing, what your plans are, which is to say, not being in a rush. I think that is incredibly important. And the idea to travel and take your music and your voice all over the world, I think that's absolutely inspirational. And I have a feeling it's going to bring you a lot of happiness. And, you know, you obviously so many experiences ahead, and fantastic. So, and to answer your question, Babz, I think it's going to be wonderful to be part of this program. So Jonathan will be in the middle of it, and we'll also have members of the New Haven Symphony in the cello quartet, as well as a horn quartet that precedes it. So it's just part of it's going to be a real mixed, in the best sense, a mixed bag of all sorts of different styles and combinations of instruments.
Oh, I love it. So Jonathan, who inspires you? Because you're young, and I know you like your contemporaries of the day, on top of learning the classical stuff and all of that. So what inspires you? Who are you listening to these days?
Oh man. So I'm pretty much inspired by my own family, since we're all musicians pretty much. My father is a bass player, my mother is a recording artist, she's a singer. My brothers, they all play instruments, multiple instruments. My uncle's instruments, cousins' instruments. So I pretty much listen to them. My house is just nothing but music. I was raised by it. So I really don't listen to much of the new school. I listen to more funk, George Clinton.
I can hear it in your, I hear that in your, what you just played. I was like, that's very funky. Like, that's very retro, you know, like, I was like, is he old enough to even know that stuff?
So yeah, that's where I get most of my inspiration from.
Wow. Okay. So we're going to have, you got these series of concerts. You got a few more until the end of, I think, June. That's when it is. When's the last one?
July 4th weekend. Yeah.
Okay, July 4th weekend. And so, and for the July 4th weekend, does it become a patriotic or what do you got for us for that?
A mixture of things. Some certainly something patriotically related. We've got Stars and Stripes. We've got a brass quintet, but we also have the wonderful Lisa Williamson, who's going to be singing, and including some of our mutual friend Florence Price.
Yes,
Price is going to be.
I love that you keep that alive. I love that you have kept that alive. I mean, really.
Well, we've had, you know, I've had a couple of conversations about her, and you know, so that wasn't just a one-off thing by any means. In fact, we played a movement of one of her string quartets on the previous concert as well. So she appears twice on this series, I'm happy to say.
Wow. So Rebecca, are you playing too? Are you playing any of these concerts?
Yeah, I did the opening concert, which I was very excited about, and I'll be doing the same. I'll be on the cello in the cello quartet on the same program where Jonathan is playing. So it'll so Jonathan is playing his original music, his
okay,
and kind of showcasing him and his stuff. Then we will have a cello quartet, which represents about half of our cello section. And I can just say a couple words about that, which is really cool because, as you see Jonathan and the way he's approaching the cello, I don't know, there's like this whole shift in the last, 20, 30 years, maybe, in terms of cello as an instrument and cello culture. And it's like everybody loves the cello and they all want the cello to come to them. So it's like you hear it in rock, you hear it in jazz, you hear it in bluegrass, and now you hear it in Jonathan's music. And you hear and the other kind of big thing that's evolved are cello ensembles. And so I kind of like that we have this innovative, composer, performer, Jonathan, and then we have this other direction that cello has gone in terms of cello ensembles. And people arrange, oh my gosh, it's just exploded, the arrangements that you hear for cello ensembles. So this one, we're doing some tangos, we're doing some opera music, a couple opera arias, and some Bach arrangements. So it's really a mix of classical and dance and voice and, just some favorites that people are going to recognize, I think, but it's in this cello quartet sound world, if you will. And cello's great. It's versatile because we can be bass line, we can be harmony, we can be melody, we can have a wide range, and it's kind of like the human voice. So I think that's why people like it and why it works so well. As its own, really hold its own. So I think this is a great example of kind of a more unconventional way of hearing the cello. And by the way, Jonathan technically will also be kind of, even though he's playing by himself, he's going to be kind of ensemble-like because I believe you're bringing your loop pedal, right? So you're going to hear multiple tracks while he's improvising. I don't know, maybe you want to talk about that, but
yeah, please.
It's a really cool thing.
Yeah. So
yes.
So with the loop pedal, like she said, it makes it seems like you're listening to multiple musicians, but I'm the only one that's creating all the tracks. So that's pretty much to it.
Wow. So how did the connection come? Like, how did they invite you to play with the symphony, John?
To be honest, I don't even have a clue. I think it's
I'll tell you how. So
yeah, please.
So I know Jonathan through school. He was my student there at Southern.
Okay.
And as kind of a project at some point, we did a video. Created a video of two of his original works, just a kind of a short 10-minute video. And it's an awesome video. And we just shared it with some people and, including our members of New Haven Symphony, and they liked it so much. They're, hey, here's a guy we got to pay attention to, and invited him to work with the symphony.
Nice. I love that. So, so Alistair, are y'all doing anything for the, we're in the midst of International Festival of Arts and Ideas, and normally, historically, the symphony has commissioned a piece to surprise us and delight us. And I don't know if that's the case because of the pandemic. So anything?
Well, everything has changed this year, of course, and the festival is being spread out over a period of time. We will be appearing on June 23rd. I'm saying that off the top of my head. I sure hope I'm right. With a repeat of the concert that was done on the second week of the Boathouse that features the Vivaldi Four Seasons interspersed with poetry readings that we commissioned from New Haven poets. We'll be doing an encore presentation of that on the Green as a centerpiece of that program on June 23rd.
Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't miss it, because I missed
other
it.
things.
And I understood that, these poets were amazing, and to have the backdrop and the connection to the musicians. I'm so glad I won't miss it. I'll get to actually see it again. So as you look to the fall, what are you thinking? What should we anticipate? And hopefully, if all goes well, there'll be a fall and we could gather and hear music.
Well, isn't that the $64,000 question? And I wish I had a definitive answer. We are making plans, and they are just everything is sort of in. I don't know. Nothing is set in stone yet, because we just don't know what is going to be permitted. So I have a few ideas that I'm having in the back of my head. You have to remember that also I have one entire season of programs that was already on paper, plus 2 more programs from the end of the 1920 season that we've already, we were planning on playing this season that we simply couldn't because of the pandemic. So I've got a lot of things in the hopper. It's just a question of finding when and what we can play and what's going to be allowed. And, there's just so many variables, but we will be playing. I'm absolutely sure of that.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
We'll be outside in our coats, but we'll be there.
Outside, inside. I think I'm optimistic. I think by the time we get to the fall, some sort of gathering inside is going to be workable. I'm certainly planning on it.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Jonathan, do you have another piece you want to play for us? People are really digging you. I don't want to put you on the spot. I mean, if you could tell me no, but
I mean, I can play something else if you want.
Yes.
I played something really light.
Wow. Now, every little kid is going to want to play the cello because you just made it badass. There'll be little kids begging their parents all over the city. I want to play the cello.
Come to the concert, you hear more.
Yeah. So now, do you record? Do you have a CD? Are you recording? Is that a thing? Do we even think about?
So I'm currently recording.
Okay.
Yeah, currently recording. It's incomplete, but it's in the process. So just give me a little bit more time, and everybody will have a CD, or it'll be on iTunes. And
I love. So Rebecca, that's what we can expect from the cello? Like, I had no idea the cello could be like that.
Oh. Well, I guess so. Yeah, we could. We just proved it. Yeah, no, it's really funny the way you said that. I feel like I've been telling Jonathan that the last 4 years, kids will come running. Okay, they are going to. I'm like, Jonathan, you got to figure out. Sometimes in the lessons, I'd say, can you teach me how you're doing that? Because one day there's going to be a lineup of kids asking you, how are you doing that? And they're going to want to do it, and you're going to have to tell them how to do that, or you keep it a secret. I don't know, but absolutely, this is new ground. This is really new ground, and it's just, that's why it's so exciting to see. I mean, it's Jonathan, it's you, it's unique to you, but I think others can learn it. I think you are contributing to the cello technique and the cello sound world. You're going to expand our cello culture, and really, it's truly, it's exciting to see. It might end. Yeah, I think you're right, Babz. I think kids are going to come running.
Yeah, I think so. Listen, I have kids. I know they'll when they see themselves play something that way, they will want to learn how to do it. So the New Haven Symphony is doing this series of concerts at the Canal Boathouse, which is really, really cool. That space, I think, lends itself to outdoor music experience very well. If y'all want more information, or you want to, I don't know if there's any tickets left, but if you want to try it, newhavensymphony.org, and see, and they got a calendar up there, so it'll tell you when the concerts are, what each concert is. The next concert is the horn and the cello 4x4. Is that right? Am I saying that right? At June 13th, Sunday at 3 o'clock. There's the steel pan and strings, June 18th at 5:30. So you got time. You go all the way up until July 4th weekend. So if y'all want tickets, newhavensymphony.org, go over there and see what's left, because this is an experience not to be missed. And I don't think the symphony ever left Woolsey Hall to play. I mean, I know they played in other places, but not quite like this.
Not quite like this, no. This is a unique venue, as we're seeing some of the details coming up on screen now. It's pretty neat. We figured that this was a time to try new things, to open up to new possibilities, reach a wider audience than we've ever reached before, making it as fun, as casual as possible. And when you're out on the water, the food trucks are nearby, the highways nearby. It's a great and cool venue. We thought this is the time to do it. So far, so good, I think.
Yes. Well, I certainly appreciate y'all this morning. Jonathan Moore, I am so looking forward to coming to your concerts and seeing you play with my favorite symphony on the planet. It's good to see you, Rebecca Patterson. I think about you. And Elsa, I adore you. So it's really nice to see you, and welcome back to New Haven.
Thank you.
Things are open up so you can actually eat out and get around. And so we want people to go to the symphony. And listen, it's a good date experience too. So all you people out there who've been trying to get out all year, here's a good time to get out. Buy yourself a ticket and go hear some really incredible music. Thank y'all for showing up for me this morning. I appreciate y'all.
No problem.
Thank you, Babz. Great to see you.
Great to see y'all. So I'll see y'all at the concerts.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Alistair. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Thanks, Babz.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that was wonderful. I can't wait. I can't wait. So, so Harry, as they log out, uh, I'm looking forward to you know how much I love going to the symphony. My favorite thing in Haven, because our symphony is so accessible. It's not ridiculously expensive. The music is amazing, and who doesn't like Woosley Hall? Like, who doesn't like it? But I can't wait to sit at the Canal Boathouse and hear music over there by the water. And I think Alistair is right. You know, you go over there to the food trucks, Harry, get you a good arepa or a taco or something, and drink, and then come and sit down and hear some good music. That's a good date right there, Harry. I'm telling you, a good date.
You know, it's interesting to hear you say arepa and arepa, but
Arepa,
no,
arepa.
but you know, for people who are wondering, it's just basically and arepa is just basically fried dough, right?
Yeah. But it's in Spanish. Arepa.
I know.
Get you an
So
arepa, chicken or beef or
yeah,
vegetable,
the
whatever.
difference is the seasoning. That's the
Yeah,
biggest
yeah,
difference.
yeah. Get you season up something, and I'm telling you, it's a good idea. You know, and they need a cocktail truck over there, and that'd be perfect. You know what I mean? Like doing a arepa and a good beer, you're all right. So
Yeah.
that was nice, Harry. That young brother could play. You know, kids gonna want to learn how to play that daggone cello. They gonna want to learn how to do it.
I always wonder if watching young talented people like him, and they seem so shy. You know, they seem so. I always wonder.
Unassuming, right? Like all
Yeah,
that talent, and it's like, yes, yeah, all right, if you say so.
yeah. It's like what I'm like. Come on, man.
Like you're like super talent. Like you kidding me? Like you rock the hell out of that
but
cello.
but I'm sure he's thinking to himself. I don't have to say how badass I am when everybody else is saying it.
Right, right,
So
right, right.
what when you're
And I'm
badass?
glad that you know the fact that the symphony is open to letting him come and play, inviting him to come and play. That's really that's how you change the world, really. And he gets exposed to some people, and people get exposed to him, you know, and they get to hear the cello in ways that they never heard it before. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So, yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to go. I want to go to that concert. Yeah, that's the concert to go to.
yeah.
And
I'm
then to
here.
be on the green and hear the one that I missed, that would be perfect for me because I really wanted to catch that one. So, yeah, with the poets of poetry. So that would be something.
Well, I look forward to you talking about it.
Yeah. Harry, you know, you can meet me on the green, Harry. I mean, you and Karen can meet me on the green. I'll bring the arepas. I'll get some arepas and some dos equis. Don't shush me, Harry, because you
I don't
know you
want
want to
Karen.
come.
I don't want Karen to hear.
I know why you're shushing me, Harry. You cannot run from. At some point, you're gonna have to come to New Haven to catch a concert.
Yeah.
You're not saying that with real conviction.
I mean, I used to go when I lived in New Haven.
Yeah, well, now it's just, you know what? Listen, this is what you do, Harry. You plan on come like I mean, these concerts are on the weekend. So you come in New Haven, you like the grocery store, you gotta go get your Puerto Rican sausage or whatever it is you want. You know, you gotta get your staples. So come in, get you a arepa. Come on, get on the green, bring your chair and a blanket, and you get in the mood. And then then jump back in your car and go on home. And you
Yeah.
already have a parking thing, so you could just park and walk over.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Harry's like, sounds good. I'm not doing it. Harry, this is at least give it one day out the summer. Give it one time. Seriously. One
Yeah.
time. So people can see you. It's like, is that Harry? Yes, that's Harry.
If I do it, it'll probably be for one of the Arts and Ideas concerts.
Okay, well, then come to this one, the one with the New Haven Symphony. That'd be a
One
good
of
one.
You
'Cause
know,
that's not gonna be rowdy, right? Like it's gonna be people gonna like sit down and behave themselves.
I
Not to
don't
say
know.
the other ones are rowdy, but you know, it'll be a little different vibe.
You mean lively?
Yeah, it'll be lively. Did I say rowdy? Lively.
Yeah.
I don't want the International Festival Ideas people like Babz, you scaring people. No, I don't mean that. I don't mean like that. Like that.
Yeah,
So.
you know, there's just some music that makes you get up and get loud, right? A
I
little
hope
bit.
so. Yeah.
And then there's other music you sit and listen.
Yep.
Different type of music.
Different type of music. All right, well, we gotta go. Happy Monday, beautiful people. I'm back tomorrow. And do I have a guest tomorrow, Harry? I don't know. Yes, Enru tomorrow, 10:15.
Unreal.
Enru is back. So that'll be, we'll be all woo-sa, woo. Bring peace to your center.
Oh, you definitely look when Unru's on, you definitely got to find your center.
Yeah, you got
There's no excuses.
you'll find your center.
Yeah.
So tomorrow 10:15 Enru. In the meantime, y'all be nice out there. Keep it cool. Stay classy. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Come on.
Deuces, Harry.
Hi, this is Babz Rawls-Ivy from New Haven, Connecticut, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, streaming live at newhavenindependent.org.